Lord of all. The holy sparrow finds a home for her brood, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young. In your waters, my King and my God, how lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord, mighty God, Lord of Blessed are they whose dwelling is your home, Lord of peace. Blessed are they, refreshed by springs and by rain, when dryness daunts and skates. Behold my shield, my King, and my God. Is your dwelling place, O Lord, mighty God, Lord of all. I would forsake 1,000 other days anywhere, if I could spend one day in your courts, belong to you alone. My strength are you alone, my glory, my King, and my God. Is your place, Lord, mighty God, Lord of all. How lovely your dwelling place, O Lord, mighty God, Lord of all. There's one more gift I'd ask of you, Lord. It would be peace here on earth, as gentle as your children's laughter all around, all around. Your people have grown weary of living in confusion. When will we realize that neither heaven is nor peace? When we live not in peace, if there's one more gift I'd ask of you, Lord, it would be peace here on earth, as gentle as your children's laughter all around, all around. Grant me serenity within, for the confusions around are mere reflections of what's within me. There's one more gift I'd ask ask of you, Lord, it would be peace here on earth, as gentle as your children's laughter all around, all around. Do, do, Lord, grant us peace, as gentle as your children's laughter all around. There's one more gift I'd ask of you, Lord. Soul of Christ, sanctify me. Body of Christ, save me. Water from the side of Christ, wash me. Passion of Christ, give me strength. Heal me, Jesus. Hide me in thy presence, I may never leave thy side. All the evil that surrounds me, defend me. And when the call of death comes, bid me come to thee, and I may praise thee with thy saints forever. Hear me, Jesus, hide me in thy presence, may never leave thy side. All the evil that surrounds me, defend me, and when the call. Okay, good afternoon. Hello. Okay, so good afternoon. How was your long weekend? So we are down to our last topic before midterms. By the way, not tomorrow. Next week will be your midterms. And on Friday will be your third quiz. Third quiz. Coverage. Ano ba yung coverage? Two topics lang before, after prelims. Well, so for today, we'll be discussing the counterpart of Thevenin's theorem, that is Norton's. If Thevenin's theorem, equivalent circuit, involves a voltage source in series with a resistor, okay, meron siyang counterpart, but this time, instead of a voltage source, we'll have a current source which is in parallel with a resistor. Ayan. Okay, in this theorem states that a linear two-terminal circuit can be replaced by an equivalent circuit consisting of a current source, IN, in parallel with a resistor Rn. So IN is the Norton's equivalent current, and then Rn is the Norton's equivalent resistance, where IN is a short circuit current through the terminals A and B. So that means we will short A and B. So we'll try to identify what current will flow um, uh, on terminals A and B if we will short those two terminals. Okay, and the Rn is the input or equivalent resistance at the terminals when the independent sources are turned off. It's the same method as that of Thevenin's theorem when it comes to getting RTH. So we will remove the load or the component across AB, and then we will remove the independent sources and get the equivalent resistance across AB. Okay, so that will be Rn. So Rn and RTH, they are of the same method in getting them. TH is for Thevenin's equivalent resistance, so Rn is the Norton's equivalent resistance. But the method is the same. They remove the independent sources and then get the equivalent resistance across AB. That will be our Norton's equivalent resistance and Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Okay, unlike in Thevenin's for VTH or the Thevenin's equivalent voltage, we will get the voltage across AB. But it will be different for Norton's since it involves current. If it is not shorted, or that means there's no connection between A and B, that means that's open, so therefore no current will flow through it. But since we are getting the current flowing through A and B, we need to short it. So if we will short or put a wire or connect A and B, so that means it will be shorted, so therefore current will flow through AB. And the current flowing through AB will be our Norton's equivalent current, or I sub N. Okay? Mabilis ba ako magsalita? Ayan. So a network can be replaced by a linear two-terminal circuit can be replaced by a single current source in parallel with a resistor. Okay? I'll repeat. This resistor is our Norton's equivalent resistance. And then this I sub N is our Norton's equivalent current. Okay, how to get Rn? Ayan. Ayan. Now to get Rn, see, Rn is equal to VTH over RTH. It means that it's like a source transformation. Can you remember? Can you recall what source transformation is? So if we have actually the Thevenin's equivalent circuit, we can immediately get the Norton's equivalent circuit. So what should we do? All we need to do is just divide the Thevenin's equivalent voltage over the equivalent resistance to get the Norton's equivalent current. And then RTH is the same as the Rn. Now you'll get the Norton's equivalent circuit, or vice versa. If we have the Norton's equivalent circuit, that means we can also get the Thevenin's equivalent circuit using source transformation. Okay, using source transformation. Okay. I think no. Do you have any question on the conversion? Conversion or the relation between Norton and Thevenin's. Okay. Okay, so there are also two cases for Norton's, similar to that of Thevenin's. So in case one, the network has no dependent source. Okay, so it's similar to the case, the first case of Thevenin's. And in getting R sub N, or the Norton's equivalent resistance, it's the same method. Okay, for case one, you turn off all independent sources and remove the load of terminals A and B. And then we will solve for R sub N using series and parallel resistances across terminals A and B. So that won't be, I think we have done that before. So you're, I think, familiar with it. Okay, so that is getting the Okay, Norton's equivalent resistance. Now let's get the I sub N or I sub SC, short circuit current. So that's I sub SC or I sub N or the Norton's equivalent current. Now to get that one, we need to short terminals A and B, and then we need to find the current flowing through A and B using any method of analysis. Okay? So, for today, we'll have the first case. On Friday, we'll have the second case, wherein that involves a dependent source. Ayan. Okay. So, any question on the rules in getting Rn and In, or RTH and I sub SC, or the short circuit current, or the Norton's equivalent current? Okay, kung wala kayong question, so let's have an example. Ayan. So, given the circuit here, does this look familiar? It's the same example we had last time in Thevenin's. Siyempre, pareho lang naman sila. Okay, it's the same example, but this time we will just do, instead of getting Thevenin's, we'll have Norton's. Saan yung marker ng green? Mawawala. Ay, okay. So first up is we will get the Rn. Marker. Okay. First step is we remove RL, and at the same time we will remove all the independent sources. Okay, so that means we'll have 4 ohms. So this is where 32 volts should be. Then 12 ohms. And then we'll open up 2 amperes because that's a current source. And then, okay, we'll get the resistance across AB. So we'll get Rn. Ayan. Okay, so what will be the Norton's equivalent resistance across AB? So we'll just use series parallel. So these two are in parallel. So 4 parallel to 12. So that's equal to, my calcu, node 4 parallel to 12. So it's 3. So 3 ohms. And in series with 1. So therefore, Rn is equal to 4 ohms. Okay? Any question on that one? Okay, let me go. Okay, so we're done with Rn. Now let's go to our In. Okay? So the method for In is we will return all the sources, but not RL. And then we will short AB. Ayan. And we'll get In. Okay, you short AB. So that's the wire I connected A and B to short it. And then we want to find the value of the current flowing through that wire if we short A and B. Now, for the methods, it's up to you on which method to use. Siyempre, alam nyo na. Okay, what method should we be using to solve for I sub n, which is the current flowing through A and B once it is shorted? Nodal? Meh? Okay. So, alam niyo naman, puro tayo mesh analysis. Para sa akin kasi madali yun. But if you will use other method, that's fine. You can also use source transformation if you like. Okay, but for me, I just prefer mesh analysis. Okay, by the way, we can also use our calculus to solve for the values. Okay, so let's call this I1, I2, and then I3.
Yung tablet daw ni Lola, pinapakuha niya sa akin.
Sorry about that. Ganyan talaga siguro yung online class, no? May mga interruption. Well, anyway, let's continue. Okay, so what can we conclude based on our mesh currents? So can we conclude that I3 is equal to IN? Tama ba? Because I assume that current across AB is flowing in this direction. So I3 is moving in this direction. So therefore I3 is equal to IN. What else? So on this part we have a super mesh. Okay, so for our super mesh, so what should be the equation? I2 minus I3 or I3 minus I2 is equal to 2. Okay, it is. Okay, you follow the direction of the source itself. So, kung sino yung sumusunod dun sa direction ng source, yun yung magiging positive. If that current is flowing opposite the current source, that should be negative. So in this case, I3 is in the direction of 2 amperes and I2 is opposite it. So therefore, it should be I3 minus I2 is equal to 2. Ayan. Okay. Yan, tama ka, Andre. Okay, yan. So dapat titingnan nyo rin yung source natin mismo. Kung sino yung sa direction niya, yun yung magiging sign or positive. Okay? Next, so let's have our KVL. So KVL at I1, so we'll have negative 32 plus 4I1 plus 12 times I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. Okay, so let's simplify. So let this be our first equation. Let's simplify. So this is 12I1 minus 12I2. So we'll have 12 plus 4, so 16I1 minus 12I2 is equal to 32. So this will be our second equation. Okay, next, KVL at the super mesh. Okay, so KVL on this whole simultaneous natin yung I2 and I3 because it's the super mesh. So we'll start with 12. So 12 times I2 minus I1 plus 1 times I3. Wala na. No. That's equal to 0. So therefore, we'll have negative 12I1 plus 12I2 plus I3 is equal to 0. So this will be our third equation. So ayusin ko lang. So ito ay magiging negative I2 plus I3 is equal to 2. So this will be our first equation. Ayan. So ano lang natin, mode 5. Which one? Which one is that? Mode 5, 2. Mode 5, 2. First equation, 0, negative 1, 1. Second equation, 16, negative 12, 0, 32. And the last one, negative 12, 12, 1, 0. Okay. So, our currents are, okay, I1 is 49 over 8 ampere. I2, 11 over 2 ampere. And then I3 is 15 over 2 ampere. Okay, so therefore, what's IN? Okay, IN is equal to I3. So therefore, it is, what's 15 over 2? It's 7 point, tama ba ako? 7.5. 7.5 amperes. 7.5 amperes. Therefore, our Norton's equivalent circuit is equal to the current source in parallel with the resistor across A and B. So what's our resistor? It's 4 ohms and this is 7.5 amperes. So this is our answer. Okay, any question? Yes. Ano yun, Legion? You can talk naman. You can ah Lijan, I think I've mentioned that before. I will allow it. Didn't I? Or siguro sa 2 ko ba nasabi? But I think I have mentioned that already. I will allow it. Yes. Bakit pababa yung inassume ko lang. Inassume ko lang. Alexandra, I assumed na ganon. Otherwise, kung negative yung magiging sagot, baliktad yung direction nung IN. Yes. Yes. Oh. But I think they will be of the same value. Din naman. Okay na? Okay na? Okay, so let's proceed to our next example. So this is our next example. So, may question pa ba? Paano po naging 4 ohms? Parallel. Parallel combination is 3. Series plus 1, 4. 3 ohms in series with 1 ohm. So that's equal to 4 ohms. Okay. Mukha ba siya? Sorry, mukha ba siyang 4? 1, 1. Bigla parang bigla akong na-disconnect yata. Ano naman? Okay, kung wala nang question, we'll proceed to the next one. Okay, so here we have 8 ohms, 4 ohms, 8 ohms, 5 ohms. We have 12 volts and then 2 amperes. Right. So let's proceed. So you want to find the equivalent circuit, Norton's equivalent circuit of this network across AB. Wait. Nag-blur yung video ko. Ayan, okay na. Nag-auto focus yata. Okay. So let's get the RTH first. So sorry, RN. Sana yung sa RTH. So RN is we need to remove all independent sources and get the resistance across AB. Ayan. So this one should be opened. So we'll only have this. 5 ohms, 8 ohms, 4 ohms, 8 ohms. So what is the equivalent resistance across AB? Ayan. So if you will get the series combination of these three, So that's 8 plus 8, 16. 4 is 20 ohms. Okay. 20 ohms. So therefore, that's 20 parallel to 5. So Rn is equal to. So what's the parallel combination of 20 and 5? It's 4. It's 4 ohms. Yeah. So any question on 4 ohms? Okay. Now let's proceed to IN. Okay, for IN, that means we'll return the independent sources and then we will short A and B. Ayan. And then, to get IN, we need to short this. And we want to find IN. Ayan. We'll short this. Okay, class. Kaya lang, look what happened. If we will short A and B, that means 5 ohms is affected. Okay, class. If we will have a current, therefore, if a current flows through these two, so ibabypass niya yung 5, that means lahat ng current is dadaan dito sa IN. So wala ng current na dadaan pa sa 5 ohms. So it only means parang ito ay hindi na natin siya i-consider kasi na-short siya. So parang mawawala ng effect yung resistance na na-short. That's why ang mga ammeter ay hindi mo pwedeng i-parallel, i-short niya kasi yung circuit. Diba napag-aralan naman natin yan sa laboratory? So hindi po pwede na ginagamit mong parallel yung ammeter, i-short niya kasi yung circuit. At magdodraw siya ng madaming current. Dahil iba-bypass niya yung resistance. So if I will redraw that, redraw it. Want to redraw it. I will have something like this. Ayan. So, matatanggal na yung 5 ohms. So, ito na ngayon yung IN. Okay? Nakuha ba? Dahil ang method natin to get IN is short natin yung A and B. Okay, if we will check, that means yung 5 ohms will be shorted. Will be shorted. Ipaparallel natin itong dalawa, shorted yung 5 ohms. So that means mawawala ng effect yung 5 ohms dahil ay nawawala. Okay. May nawawala. Nawawala yung sa baba. Okay, dahil kung may wala ng current na dadaan dito sa 5 ohms, pupunta lahat sila sa walang resistance. Sinort niya siya. Pag sinort mo kasi ang isang resistance, mababaliwala yung kanyang, wala siyang effect. Dahil wala ng current na dadaan sa kanya. At yung current, di ba kung meron akong current dito, kung magkakaroon ako ng current dito, okay, kung magki-KCL tayo, some should go here, but some should go there. Some current should move here, and some will move here. Kaya lang, ang problema, wala namang resistance sa kabila. Kung saan walang resistance, doon lahat pupunta yung current. So therefore, no more current will flow through here. All of them will flow through here. Kasi wala kang resistance ito. And if you will parallel, kung ipaparallel mo yung 5 sa 0, what will you get? Okay, if you will parallel 5 ohms with 0 ohms, the answer will be, it's not infinite. Kung infinite yan, magiging open circuit siya. The answer will be 0. Kasi magiging 5 times 0 over 5 plus 0, which is equal to 0. Okay? Basta laging tandaan, pag sinort mo yung resistance, kaya nga siya shorted, wala na magiging effect yung resistance na yon. Kasi no more current will flow through that wire. All of the current will be drawn or flow through the wire na walang resistance. That's why we can rewrite this. So, bypass na yung 5 ohms. So, all of the current will flow through the short circuit. Unless we have a resistance here. Unlike on our first example, we did have a resistance here. So, we had to have the resistance dito. Okay? Ayan. Okay. So, how will we get IN? Nadidisi ba ako? Parang lagi akong nadidisi yata. Hey, class, can you... Am I still... Andyan pa ba ako? Hello? Oh, okay. Okay, now how will we get IN? Okay, we'll get IN using, syempre, alam niyo naman, mesh analysis. So I'll have I2 and this is I1. Ayan. Okay, so that means we can conclude that I1 is equal to 2 amperes and I2 is equal to IN. Okay, thank you. Ayan. So I1 is equal to 2 amperes and I2 is equal to IN. Okay, all we need to do is get I2 to get IN. And let's have the KVL at I2. We'll have negative 12 plus 4 times I2 minus 2 plus 8I2 plus 8I2 is equal to 0. So what's the value of I2? Pwede nga i-shift solve. Ayusin pa ba natin? Sige na nga. I2 is 8 plus 8, 16, 20. 20 I2 is equal to 12 plus 8. So I2 is equal to 1 ampere. Tama ba? Okay, so the answer is 1 ampere. So therefore, we can conclude that IN is equal to 1 ampere. So yung Norton's equivalent circuit natin is equal to what's that? 4 ohms and 1 ampere. 1 ampere. So this is our answer. Ayan. You will be found. Okay, any question? Nagkataon lang. Nagkataon lang, Kyra. Nagkataon lang. Kung susunod, di ko alam kung 4 pa rin. Okay. Ayan. So we are to find the voltage across 10 ohms, which is V sub O, using a Norton's equivalent circuit. Paano malalaman kung ano yung bagong itsura ng circuit? I um uh, uh, hindi ako sure. Are you referring to this one? This is the Norton's equivalent circuit. Ang hinahanap kasi natin ay yung buong network can be simplified into a current source and a resistor parallel to it. That's why we're looking for the resistance na equivalent, Norton's equivalent resistance, and the Norton's equivalent current. So we can write it this way. Unlike for Thevenin's is for voltage. Norton's is for current. That's why we can relate the two using source transformation. Yan. So, it's always like this, the equivalent circuit. Wait. Ito yung ginagawa natin. Kino-compute natin yung RH, IN at saka RN para maging siyang ganitong klaseng circuit. So this one on the left, right side. Kino-compute natin yung RN kasi ito yung kanyang equivalent circuit. Yan yung itsura ng equivalent circuit ng Norton. Yung ginagawa ko kanina, yun yung method para kunin yung value ng RN na kailangan natin kasi. Ganyan talaga yung itsura nung equivalent circuit natin. It so happen na nasa right side yung Rn, In na kinukuha natin. Pwede naman kasi dito natin siya kunin. Pwede naman dito sa 4. It just so happened that all of our examples we are getting them on the right side. But eventually, we'll just follow the equivalent circuit, which is this one, yung nasa drawing. This is the equivalent circuit. Ito lagi yung tinatry natin kunin. Pag naman sa Thevenin's, voltage and in series with yung resistance. Pag Norton's, current source in parallel with resistor. Yeah, it's always like this. So your answer for the equivalent circuit is always like this. Regardless kung nasaan yung terminals A and B na kukunin ninyo. Okay? So this is always the equivalent circuit. Ayan, so happen na laging nasa right side yung hinahanap natin. Oh. Okay? Ayan. So let's solve this one. Okay, so una is yung RTH. But before that, we need to remove our 10 ohms from the circuit. So I will put AB here. So that means we will remove terminals A and B. And then later we will get it back once we have the equivalent circuit. Now to get the RTH, Rn, we will remove the independent sources. So we'll only have this. AB, a 1 ohm, 5 ohms, 4 ohms, and then 16 ohms. Ayan. Okay, to get the RTH across here, or the RTH on RTH Rn, so we'll have this in C. Galing ko na itong present. Okay, so kukunin ko na to. So this is equal to 20 ohms. And then we'll have these two parallel. So 20 parallel to 5. So I think that's still 4. Okay, that's all 4 ohms. And then yung 4 ohms in parallel, so in series. So 1 ohm. Therefore, Rn is equal to 5 ohms. Ayan. So 5 ohms. Then we have the parallel combination of these two. And then we'll have it in series. Parallel series. Okay. Now for In, let's return all our sources. B and A. And then we will short AB. And let's have this as our In. Okay. Now let's get In. Of course, we'll be using tama ba drawing ko? Ayan, mesh analysis. So I1, I2, and then I3. So we can conclude that I1 is 3 amperes, and then I3 is equal to In. Okay, so let's have the KVL at I2. So that's 16 times I2 minus 3 plus 4 times I2 plus 5 times I2 minus I3 plus 12 is equal to 0. So let's simplify. So I'll have 16 plus 4, 20, plus 5, 25. So 25I2 minus 5I3 is equal to, so I'll have 16 times negative 3 plus 12. Okay, negative 36. So magiging positive 36. So this is our first equation. Tama ba? Negative 48 plus 12. Okay. Now KVL at I3, that's negative 12 plus 5 times I3 minus I2 plus I3 is equal to 0. So I'll have 5I2 plus 6I3 is equal to 12. So this will be our second equation. So by equation 5.1, so I2 and the value of I3. Mode 5.1, 25, negative 5, 36, 5, 6, 12. Eh, ba ganyan ang value? Tama ba ako? But, mali ba ako? Wala naman, no? Ano ba? 16, 50. Okay. So this one. Okay. So, should be negative 5. Okay. Ganun pa din. 25 by 2 minus and 36. Negative 5I2, 6, and 12. Okay? So, tama bang mga sagot ko? 276 over 125 ampere and 96 over 25 ampere. Wala, yan talagang sagot. 3.84. Okay, or that is 3.84 amperes. So therefore, IN is equal to 3.84 amperes. So if you'll have the equivalent, Norton's equivalent circuit, 3.84 amperes, 5 ohms, then we'll bring it back, 10 ohms. Yan, 10 ohms. So what will be the VO? Ayan. So we can divide it into 3. Okay, using current division. So dun tayo sa 10. So 10 over 15. So 10 divided by 15. Code 1. 10 divided by 15 times 3.84. 5 divided by 15 times 3.84. So the current dito, IO, is equal to, or anong kunin natin? Voltage na. Say voltage. O yung parallel, R equivalent is equal to 510. It's 110 over 13 ohms. And then yung VO should be, okay, since they are parallel, pareho lang. So times natin ng 3.84. Okay. 10 over 3 times 3.84. So voltage O is 32.49 volts. Ayan. So that's the answer. Okay, any question? Okay, so that will be our lesson for today. Okay, so good day. See you on coverage is yung ano lang, first yung 2 lessons natin. Ano bang lesson yun? Week 7, 8. 7, 8, 9. Okay, got to go. 7, 8, 9. Adrian. Okay, good day. Ayo, 10 over 3 lang. 10 over 3. Sorry. 10 over 3. Ba't 10 over 13 ako? Sorry. 10 over 3 times 3.84. Okay, sorry. The answer is 12. 12.8. Anong ginawa ko? Bakit naging ganun yung sagot ko? 12.8. Okay, good day.